I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And this is the Rjgroner This Time Do It Right podcast.
Hey, fantastic, huh? We're back again.
We are.
I feel like we were just here.
I know. We're going to talk about something that I think a lot of consumers out there don't even realize that it's an issue, a problem, or that there are solutions to these problems. In our industry, there's a lot of things out there, that people have when they have a hot air or air conditioning system throughout a house, and that's ductwork. So we want to talk a little bit today about cleaning that ductwork, something a lot of people never even think about. They think about cleaning their systems, but not the ductwork. And the other thing we want to talk about, very important, and something I'm sure I'd say 90% of the people I know don't even think about, your dryer vent. Cleaning your dryer vent. Now, I've got some statistics here, something that people really should know. I got my cheat sheet. So dryers cause an average of nearly 16,000 fires in the United States alone every year. Last year in the United States, $238 million in property damage were caused by dryer vent fires, 444 injuries, and unfortunately 13 deaths in those fires. And John, the things that cause this, the easy fix to this is amazing. It's lint that builds up in your dryer vent, and nobody ever thinks to clean it. An Rjgroner company can do that for you. We can clean your dryer vent.
Well, let me ask you this question then. So I'm an average customer out there. How would I even know I need a dryer vent cleaning?
Okay, there's several things. First of all, it's time. Like anything else. If you've never had it done, please, immediately get it done. It's inexpensive. We come out. Typically, we can get to wherever it's venting to at the end, take the grill off, and go in from that angle and clean it right out. We do not usually have to go into the home, but we do to check the dryer itself.
We do. So, but what are the signs? What are the signs?
The
that I would need a
signs
dryer
are
cleaning?
Okay. Did you ever run your dryer and for some reason the clothes are still kind of damp?
That has happened.
Okay, that's one sign that it's blocked a little bit and it's not doing the job it used to. The second sign would be that it's taking longer to dry your clothes than it used to. Used to use that quick cycle, but now you got to always put it on the extreme or whatever you want to call it, the longest cycle to get your clothes dry. The other thing is, wow, for some reason my dryer feels really warm or very hot now. That's another sign.
Yep.
So there's several signs, things that you could think about, but the biggest one is, when did you ever have it done before?
And it doesn't take long.
No, it doesn't. It's a build-up. No, it's just like any other equipment in your house that's heating, cooling, washing, drying. You need to service these things. You can't just forget about them and think, they're going to be fine. And the other reason is your dryer will last years longer.
Absolutely.
Years longer, because it doesn't have to work as hard.
So I tell you a funny story related to dryer cleaning. So one thing that we've learned over the years of being in business is you can't discount when somebody tells you they think something is wrong or has changed. So my wife had been complaining that it was taking much longer for the dryer to dry. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And she came back at me a bunch of times and said, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, it turns out she was absolutely 100% right, because I finally, after enough motivation, checked my own dryer vent, and that dryer vent was almost plugged off solid on the inside. It was mind-boggling. Now, we had only been in the house for 2 years, so when we first moved in, it was relatively clean when I hooked things up in there. But in 2 years' time, that dryer vent was almost plugged up, and it was only roughly about 10 feet. It blew my mind. First off, it blew my mind how much laundry we do during the day, during the week, and during the month. But It was wild. So again, if you feel something has changed, and that goes for pretty much any appliance in your house, get it checked out, okay? And don't keep discounting it or telling yourself, it might be just something, maybe this is just the way it is. There's a good chance there's something wrong. So just thought that was a funny story.
Yeah.
The real moral of that story is always listen to your wife. She's right.
That's true. I am never going to argue with that.
No, she told me to say that too. So no.
Did she?
No, just kidding.
But yeah, I actually, the first house I ever owned, I had a dryer fire. And luckily my son was home. We were on vacation, actually. My son was home, and there was a fire extinguisher right there. He put that fire out within 5 minutes. Did call the fire department just to check and make sure everything was okay. One thing you don't even think about, I mean, this was a small dryer fire. This was a quick dryer fire. On the second floor, there was soot. The soot travels all over the house. And boy, talking about remediation, getting a company in to get rid of soot in your house, I mean, it's just a disaster. Clothes have to be clean, curtains, everything that's cloth that can soak up that soot.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So yeah, you really, really should have that dryer vent taken care of as soon as possible and often, as you said, every year or two. Make sure it gets cleaned out. Now, if you're a big family, you have a lot of kids, obviously you're washing a lot of clothes more often and drying them. Every year, I would suggest you get that dryer vent taken care of. And, it's not a, and we always say this on our podcast, it's not a shameless plug. I really don't care about this, calling Rjgroner for this. I mean, I do, of course, because, it helps my employees and keeps business going, but it's a safety issue, and when it comes to safety, just call somebody who's qualified and get this taken care of.
Right.
Because,
Agreed.
like I said, 16,000 fires a year, and unfortunately 13 deaths out of that, and a lot of injuries. That's not even the beginning of the nightmare of getting your house back to normal after something like that.
It's interesting that you brought this topic up today because it's one of the services that we introduced to our customers here at Rjgroner because we did have a concern over ventilation, and because it's one of those overlooked things. It is a duct. Your dryer vent is technically a duct. So we started looking at and getting a lot of requests for duct cleaning over the years. And typically in the past, we would recommend some other companies. Maybe they'd come out. Maybe they wouldn't do a great job. So we realized that as part of the overall service that we wanted to be able to bring to our customers and offer, we should bring in the duct cleaning side of things. And along with that came the dryer cleaning. And it was in the very beginning when we first started, we realized how bad these dryer vents were.
Yeah.
It really just blew our mind.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a value that we brought to our customers in the area here in the Poconos that we felt very strongly about.
Yeah, and
Especially-
when we researched it and saw the statistics
Yeah.
of all the problems involved in it and how easy it is to fix it,
Yeah.
we thought, this is something we want to do for our customers.
Now let's talk about the other side of that coin, which is the duct cleaning, okay, and your indoor air quality. So being HVAC contractors, HVAC contractors, okay, working on heating and air conditioning, we would clean your system. We'd come in every year. We would do the maintenance. That unit would be spotless when we left. However, one thing our technicians would notice would be how dirty the ductwork was on the inside. And the pictures that we've seen, and I think I've showed you a couple of them over the years, just mind-boggling. It's like an entire civilization living in ductwork in some of these homes. It's mind-boggling what's actually in there. So we realized that this was a service that we needed to provide to our customers to make sure that when we came in and said, your system is cleaned, we meant not just your air conditioning unit, we meant your entire system. And the results of that, okay, the customers that we've serviced and done this for have been tremendous. Pollen, dirt, dust, animal hair. We like to say growth, okay, because we're not mold experts, but we like to say growth, okay, in the ductwork. Things that we have found and been able to treat has made a huge difference in the indoor air quality for these homeowners. And let's be honest, we spend the bulk of our time closed up in our homes in the winter and the summer. We get a little window in the fall and the spring where we'll open some windows and we let some fresh air in. But after that, we're inside, and everything that's in that ductwork, we are breathing constantly.
And I don't know if it's an epidemic, but boy, I'll tell you, as a child, I had allergies. Luckily, I grew out of it. But I still go to the allergist. I still get checked out. And when I go, the place is filled, the waiting room with children, filled. So allergies today, I don't really know friends of mine who have children that they don't have some kind of allergy. And a lot of it is, asthma or breathing allergies, allergies that cause, breathing issues like asthma. So when you think about that, cleaning your ductwork out, you don't know that pet dander is in there, the dust, just the dust alone.
And every time that gets heated up, especially in the wintertime, when you heat that stuff up, it breaks loose and moves through the airstream.
It's not just air conditioning, you're right. You're talking about anybody who has oil or gas furnaces.
Yep, heat pumps.
Heat pumps, they all, as long as they're central systems, they have ductwork in your house. You see those grills in your ceiling, pull them down, we take them down, clean them, we go up through there, clean out that ductwork, we go to the other grills, the return grills.
That's actually, you just brought up a great sign. You look up at your ductwork. If you've got ductwork in the ceiling and you've got those registers in the ceiling and you see that black or brown dust around the grill register, that's pretty much a good sign that you've got a lot of buildup in that ductwork, and something needs to be at least looked at.
So something, that's a part of the HVAC systems in the Pocono region is fiberglass ductwork, not sheet metal. There's a lot of homes that have been built with that fiberglass ductwork in their attics, in their crawl spaces, basements, etc., in the walls and
it's like
so
a very
forth.
fine particulate, okay? And it was a great, inexpensive way to get ductwork through new homes. And to this day, it's still used, although they've come a little further along with treatments to be able to hold it together. But what we've seen over time, especially ductwork that's in an attic or in a crawl space, it degrades. And when it degrades, it gives off little fiberglass, little fiber particles that just travel through the airstream.
So that's another reason to make sure your ductwork is clean, but something that you may want to talk about because you've experienced it with our employees on different job sites, is that because of the fiberglass ductwork coming apart, you actually end up with rodents in the ductwork.
Are you talking about Kenny fighting raccoons up in the attic?
I'm talking about our employee Kenny cleaning ductwork and actually
Fighting for his life
against
a raccoon.
Yes.
It's insane.
Rocky Raccoon and Kenny.
Yep.
I wish we had video on that.
I don't think he would want any video on that, but it is actually pretty impressive how easily rodents, especially in attics, eat through that fiberboard and just destroy it. Now, we've gone on jobs where we went out to do an evaluation for duct cleaning just to find the entire ductwork destroyed. I mean, there's just nothing to clean.
And people are wondering, why isn't my system working so great?
Yeah.
And we clean the indoor unit, the outdoor unit, and that's not the cause.
Nope.
It's the ductwork. The airflow is so, decimated by rodents and just time eroding the ductwork and taking it apart.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the services we do offer is an evaluation for duct cleaning. And so we will come out, actually go through with a camera, evaluate your ductwork. I just a real quick side note, we have gone to homes that people have lived in for 10 years, inspected their ductwork, and it's clean as a whistle on the inside.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason as to why a buildup will start in ductwork, but it does happen. In other cases, we've gone into homes that have 5, 6, 7 years ago had a duct cleaning done, only to find everything basically grown over again, a living mat of hair and dirt and everything on the inside. So we'll come out, we'll do an evaluation. The other thing we do when we're doing evaluation is we're checking for particulates in your air. Okay, how much dust is in your air, how many fine particles, how many heavy particles. We also check for volatile organic compounds in your air. And you ask me what that is. You go and buy new furniture, get a new rug, carpet, whatever it may be. A lot of these products are made with formaldehyde. Formaldehyde in the air, okay, stream is very dangerous to you and I. So a lot of times you buy new furniture, you buy something, you have that weird smell, that chemical smell coming off it. Most likely that's VOC, that's formaldehyde coming out of that unit. We test for those particulates, we test for that level in the air, okay, and we try and match it to national standards to say, okay, maybe you do have an unhealthy situation in your house here while we're doing this evaluation. And there are solutions for those problems. Sometimes it's better filtration. Sometimes it's just setting up a system that brings fresh air into the house and exhausts stale air out of the house. So there's a lot of things we test for in that evaluation before we even settle on doing a duct cleaning for you. We want to make sure that you are educated, you have all the information to make the best choice, and we want to make sure we're doing the best thing for you in protecting you and your family.
Exactly. And what about what other things we do when we do the duct cleaning? Aren't there other things that our employees can do in the ductwork?
Well, there are a number of things we can do in the ductwork. First off, we're looking to see if anything is destroying your ductwork. You have gaps in your
Right.
ductwork.
Yeah.
Are you losing air conditioning? Are you losing heat? We do all of that. But one of the other things we do that we offer to our customers is at the end of the cleaning, typically we'll run a sanitizer through the ductwork. So this is designed, we call it fogging in our industry.
Right.
It's designed to move through the ductwork and basically reduce growth, viruses, things that are in your ductwork that just a simple cleaning can't get out. It's basically a treatment. It's a breathing treatment for your ductwork to try and get things a little more healthy, maybe kill off some of those viruses and bacteria that might be hiding somewhere in corners and places like that. And that service itself has proved to be very valuable in a lot of situations, especially here in the Poconos where you have damp crawl spaces where things tend to grow.
Yes. Yes. So that's something that we felt was important to our customers. It's something that we never did in the past.
Right.
So we now have a complete division at Rjgroner that is dedicated to
Indoor air quality,
indoor air
which
quality,
includes our duct cleaning.
duct cleaning, dryer vent cleaning,
You got it.
and we'll even pet the dog.
Yep. Yeah. All right. If you need to get a hold of us, or if you would like to get a hold of us, we'd like you to get a hold of us. Give us a call, 570-421-7260. Find us on the website, rjgroner.com. Check out our new online booking tool where you don't even have to talk to anybody and you can just book a service online, including the ductwork evaluation.
Yes.
Text us at that 570-421-7260 number.
I was going to mention that.
So-
Don't want to forget the fact that, if you're busy, you're doing several things, you know how easy it is. Everybody is texting today. The phone number that you've been using for years, 570-421-7260. You can now text us, and we'll get back to you immediately.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody.